We are back here on the Dazzler 360 Racing Network. Get ready for Portland. The ButtKicker 125 here from Portland for week 9 of the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series for season 11. How is this going to turn out? We're going to find it all out here live tonight on the Dazzler 360 Racing Network. Good evening, folks. On the Redneck Announcer, Jake Reeves, my good buddy Tyler Dittmer, co-commentating tonight, Jim Cunningham alongside producing as well. Tyler, buddy, we've opened the Christmas presents. We've had the eggnog. Some have had whiskey earlier on this week when they got ourselves lined up for the New Year. Some may be trying to get out of the hoosegow earlier today just to watch the race tonight. But certainly it is great to be back up here in the booth, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm very, very happy back in the booth with you, Jake. It's been a while. Glad to be. I'll be hopping on here for the rest of the season here on Friday nights, helping you out, making it easier for the producer. And I'm excited, happy New Year to everyone watching here on the Friday night series. And we're going to a track that I am very familiar with, only an hour and a half away from. Been here twice for real world races, both IndyCar and the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Portland International Raceway.
Thank God you know about it, because I got to tell you right now, this is actually, believe it or not, this is the first glimpses that I'm getting of this racetrack. To be honest with you, I didn't even know. I went and I looked on the schedule. I'm not even going to lie. I looked on the schedule and I'm like, Portland? There's a track? Portland? I've never even heard of it. So, it is what it is. But you see drivers working their way around the racetrack right here. Tyler, you were talking about, about this place. Give us a little insight about what Adam Newton's doing right here.
Yeah, so Adam Newton's going to go from fourth gear down this front straightaway into this very tight chicane, probably all the way down to second or first, although he's pulling off the track here. He just finished his qualifying run. We'll have to find another driver, but this is a 1.9-mile circuit, about 30 minutes north of Portland, just across the river, the Columbia River, between Washington and Oregon. It's the only track that I know of on a National Series circuit that is owned by the state. The Oregon Parks and Rec actually own and operate this facility, and it's a very, very clean facility. You see some drivers struggling with the later turns here. Raul Meza is taking us through the infield section here. It's going to be a sweeping double right-hander, and he's going to follow it up here with a nice left-hander back. It's a very long and sharp left-hander here as he's working through kind of what we call Sector 1 in open wheel racing, a little bit of an extra left kink there. It goes back to the right down the back straightaway. Here's a better look as Ryan Johnson, or is this Matthew coming early on in the lap 38 machine, going back to the left side here that we saw with Raul Meza. Yeah, this is Ryan Johnson, the tiny horse. As you see, he's going to come in here, and it's a big, sharp right-hander as he goes towards the back straightaway, getting down to first or second gear, driver preference here. And he's going to get up all the way to fourth gear down this sweeping backstretch. It's going to go left and then back to the right, a long sweeping right-hander here. Very little elevation change. The most elevation change you'll see is actually this downhill a little bit, very fast, sweeping left, down to third gear, back to the right, and then he's going to hit another 90-degree right, try to use all that curb on the right side. And there's that little wall there that can be a little bit of a concern, and then it opens up a lot on the front straightaway, which is the drag strip here at Portland International Raceway. And he'll get all the way back up to fourth gear as he crosses the line. But this track is very, very unique, very, very challenging. 12 turns here at Portland, 2 big passing zones. It is that chicane into 1 down the front straightaway, and then that long sweeping backstretch as you go down into turn 10. Those are your 2 big passing opportunities. You could see some moves in at turn 7, which is that sharp right hand that you just see the number 24 going through there. That is another big opportunity for passes here at Portland International Raceway.
Good Lord. A lot of places right there that we were sitting there watching them just absolutely send it through some of these quarters. Kind of got me thinking, a lot of this is going to be hold my beer going through there. I mean, especially if they end up getting in a situation where they go too wide, people dive in there, try to make crazy moves any way, shape, fashion, or form. Could really play a factor, could really be a hold my beer, and you may end up seeing some door banging, some beef. Could see it all here tonight at Portland International Speedway. Real quick, your stages on how they're going to work out here tonight as we see drivers still coming out and cutting times, about a minute and a half left in qualifying. Stage 1 going to go all the way to lap 20. We will get that caution at the end of stage 1. Stage 2 is going to continue under green, so pretty much they're only going to get one caution through this whole race. That's going to be at lap 20. And then after that, it's game on. You're literally going to be gassing it up all the way to 65, but you will get, but drivers will get paid out stage points at the end of 40 and go all the way to 65, 3 sets of tires, 100% fuel capacity. And that's going to be the big factor. One thing about this, though, Tyler, I do want to bring this up, is I'm looking how all this stuff is. 105 degrees on the track temp. That has got to play a huge factor with these drivers.
It is, and that's really temperatures we only really see in the Pacific Northwest for track temp wise, anywhere from May to about August. Otherwise, it's pretty cloudy, pretty gray, pretty wet in the Pac Northwest. But these drivers are going to have their handfuls, and I think where you're going to see a lot of mistakes as you see, I'm following another driver here, but the 24 just spun coming off of 12. I think that double right-hander, as you see the 89 is coming through the infield section, you're going to see a lot of big challenges at turn 7 and at turn 12. And like you said, Jake, a lot of door banging is very, very possible here. The big action corners, both in IndyCar and in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, was that turn 1 chicane. There's a lot of talk about should we run the chicane, should we not? It creates that additional passing opportunity, and we've seen big wrecks, and we've also seen drivers win and lose races here. Connor Zilic, very much well known for this past year, skipping the chicane, going through the little pass-through area, and winning the race here at Portland. Shane Van Gisbergen is a former winner here. Alex Palou and Will Power have each won 2 races in the IndyCar Series here. Mario Andretti beat his son by 0.07 of a second in the second closest finish in IndyCar history on a road course here at Portland International Raceway. So it's a very action-packed track for only being 1.9 miles long.
Well, folks, I'll tell you this much. If you need to have any idea about what's going on here at Portland, just ask Tyler Detmer. By God, he will tell you exactly how this place rolls. We've already talked about it as well. But getting ready for the starting lineup here tonight for the ButtKicker 125. Going to get the grid lined up and check it out. Tristan Bruce on TV. Going to be up here on the front row starting on the pole. Diz outside, Tiny Horse, Ryan Johnson, the Bulldog, Adam Newton with Kermit the Frog, Luke Smith. Good to see him up here inside the top 5. And Jeff Merritt trying to make a little something happen here tonight. Rolling off from P5 with Ed Osborne on his outside. Rolling off from P6. Matthew Montgomery, Curtis Banks going to make up row number 4 with Adam Lichty, Dana Shepard making up row number 5. And rounding out the top 12 is Matthew Cummins, MVP of operations for Nazareth, Cody Knott.
Yeah, we look back into row number 7. That's Matthew David Wood on the inside in that 21 machine. You got Trevor Aswarnoff there in the 89. Then back in row number 8, you got Nick Sacco and John Freeman. Row number 9 holds Josh Rodriguez and Devin Painter. And then you got back in row number 10, Keith Haney, Brandon Schumann there. James Beard and Eric Zimmerman, row number 11. And Raul Meza rounds out the field in 23rd. Only 23 drivers tonight. Should allow the field to get spaced out, but you really got to watch these restarts, especially after stage 1. And this initial start is going to probably breed a lot of chaos. Additionally, I believe Matthew David Wood has to go to the end of the longest line for winning back-to-back races here. So he was the fastest driver in practice, posting a 1:15 flat. Only a couple other drivers were in the 1:15s, including Tristan Bruce, your pole sitter, and John Freeman at 1:15.8. So look for those 2 drivers to try and get to the front and stay in the front in the case of Tristan Bruce. But Matthew David Wood's got a lot of work to do here as he's starting from the back.
Yeah, and he's going to have to go through some of those landmines like me and you used to call them on the Monday Night Series, Tyler. Try to get through those landmines. Don't want to get yourself in a bad spot. Real quick, do want to bring this up. Next week, if you have not yet signed up for it, the Nazareth 500 will be in play. There you see it right there, the King of Talladega. Get yourself signed up January 4th through the 10th. Or Daytona. I'm still living in the past month. We had the King of Talladega. I got it all mixed up. I love Talladega, but I love Daytona too. The King of Daytona. Well, I mean, Tyler, we've said King of Talladega for so many times. I mean, hell, we just got to get it imprinted in our minds. But there you go. And the next gen cars got the qualifiers, all of it going from January 4th to January 10th. Get yourself signed up. If you're already in the Nazareth special events, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. You should be good to go. But for anybody that wants to get in it, last I saw, there was about 70, 80 people signed up for this thing. Tyler, are you going to be racing, or are you going to be co-commentating with me, or what's your
I will
plan
be
here?
in the booth Sunday night for the first kickoff of some races. I believe Wesley's my co-commentator Sunday night. I'll probably hop in the booth a couple other nights throughout the week, but I will just be in the booth for this one. As you know, Jake, I absolutely hate super speedway racing. I never can figure it out. I think I've won a total of one race on a super speedway, and it was in Atlanta in a NASRA series. Yep, have not figured it out at Daytona or Talladega. Got to win in Atlanta, which was a miracle in my own opinion. So I'm good. I'll stay in the booth and watch the action.
I remember I watched that. I believe we called that race. Me and Wesley called that. It was a Monday night series. I believe it was when you won it in Atlanta, and I remember you said the same thing, that you couldn't stand it. I love racing at Daytona, Talladega, and Atlanta. I love racing it. I've always kind of grew up with the super speedway at heart. But yeah, I mean, if you have not yet, make sure you get yourself signed up. Try to be the king of Daytona. Can you make it happen? Can you go through the ringer? Remember, Daniel Falkenham, he won the king of Talladega last month. So big deal for that right there. Will Falkenham be able to go for 2 in a row, or can Kyler Wynn try to get it back from winning the king of Daytona last year? But here we go, folks. Strap it in. Get ready. Ready to kick a little butt tonight. ButtKicker 125. As here we go. Bruce, Johnson, Newton, Smith, and Mark, the top 5. Some heavy hitters starting up here at the front. Green flag in the air. Bruce down on the inside. Fires off. Shoots down into turn number 1. Damn, I mean, all the way down. Almost hit the wall. Johnson almost tags him in the tailgate as they work their way around here at Portland International Speedway here at the start. And we already got him squirming back there in the back.
Yeah, a little bit of 3 wide further on back, but the front of the field got nice and organized there on that restart, or on that initial start. No chaos as far as I can see, but they're 2 and 3 wide further on back in the field as they go through this little, what I like to call the infield section as they work their way towards the backstretch. Kind of single file for the most part, but you got Meza there. He's trying to work his way through the field, and really what you got to look out for is what Matthew David Wood's doing. Where is he going to be at by the end of stage number 1? I see a little bit of contact there, and that sharp right-hander sends a truck out wide. And that's another, like I said, turn 7 is a big action point here at Portland.
I'm telling you, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of action points from what we've already saw, but check them out. And a lot of these drivers, not really worried. I mean, check this out. MDW already up to 10th. Remember, like you said, Tyler, had to start at the back. You know, he was able to qualify apparently, but he has to get the EOL at the start. So he's got his, you know, his place, I guess, for the pit box and everything. But there you go. I mean, trying to make it on up through here. Wood trying to make something happen. And now he's already up to 8th. Like you said, started from the back, already up here. We've seen MDW. We've seen what this kid can do at some of these road courses. We've seen it on the Tuesday night series with the, you know, with the endurance racing that Joshua Suss has got going on. And we've seen him and, you know, Rondoletto just have this kind of crazy deal. So Wood would probably be the pick to win here tonight, I would think, just because of the history that he has had on road courses.
Yeah, and everyone was very respectful to him, kind of letting him go. They realize he's a much faster driver there. As you see, Ryan Johnson really putting it to Tristan Bruce there in the infield section, lost a little bit of ground, that sharp right hand, like essentially what I like to call a hairpin here. It's pretty sharp corner there. As you see the 42 John Freeman rolling through. Johnson was able to keep it close for lap 1, but Bruce has opened a bit of a gap here now as they work down towards the front straightaway in this double right-hand corner after that quick left-hander. Matthew David Wood, though, he's sitting good. He's about to get another pass done there on that right-hander. He gets another position there, moving up through the field. Got to keep an eye on him as they come to the end of stage 1 for sure.
Yeah, Wood already up to 7th. He's going to try to track down Matthew Montgomery. He's 6 seconds back from the battle. You're seeing Tristan Bruce, Ryan Johnson. He is 6 seconds back from that, and he will be closing in. There is Montgomery. There is Wood. Got the 2 mats kind of rock and rolling right here for the 6th spot. And you mentioned it a second ago that everybody's showing a lot of respect to the 21 MDW right here at the start and just how fast he is. I'm not sure which one it is, to be honest with you, though, Tyler. I don't know if maybe they're getting out of the way to show him respect, or they're just getting out of the way because they don't want to get spun the hell out. I mean, because he sends it in these corners. You see how fast he's going. he's not going to just let up and just, whatever. He's, full board going to go. So there you see it right there, almost getting into the 24 Montgomery. So it could be either or. It could be a 50-50. Either get out of the way for the respect or just get out of the way because you don't want to get wrecked.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, but I think as he starts to get further and further up into the top 5, as you see he gets another position there up to 6th, I think it's going to be more difficult. I don't think they're just going to let him go. As we see a driver out track, that's Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson, misses the exit there off of turn number 12. He's lost a lot of ground. Tristan Bruce closed up but lost a lot of it back. And now he's going to come under fire from Adam Newton here as we come towards that chicane down the front straightaway. Adam's going to not make a move there, going to just stay in line for now. And that's allowing this top 4 to stay kind of close with Jeff Merck right there behind.
We got a little bit right here for Eric Zimmerman. Eric Zimmerman looks like maybe off the pace back here in the back. Let's see kind of what happened to him. This is a replay. Shoots through here, hits these rumble strips. What happens to the 94? Did he go around? Hell yeah, he just completely missed the whole corner, locked it up. You were talking about that a second ago, Tyler, with Johnson doing that, now Zimmerman doing that. There's not a whole lot of bank here at this track like you would at any other mile and a half. There's not a whole lot of bank in here. I mean, there's none. Absolutely none. It is flat all the way around this place. You don't have a whole lot of give going into these corners to be able to carry that speed. You got to watch yourself, and as tight as it is, and the dive bobs like you see with John Freeman right here diving it in there trying to make something happen. There's not a whole lot of give if you overdrive these corners. You overdrive it just a little bit, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, it's very, very easy to get off track here, especially when you're trying to use the entire racing surface, right? You want to get as far over to the left so you can set yourself up for that double right-hander as you see here down in 11 and 12. And right here, there's turn 11, and then there's turn 12. You see Freeman going to the inside of Lighty. And if you miss that apex, it's so easy to set yourself up for a bad run down the front straightaway as see Freeman gets by as they go down the front. And that's kind of where these races, you can gain and lose a lot of ground. But like the last lap, Matthew David Wood was about 0.6 faster than the rest of the field there. So he is moving forward quickly. Meanwhile, you see Curtis Banks going backwards in a hurry. Started 8th, back to 15th. Matthew David Wood is already caught up to that 5th place position of Luke Smith. Luke Smith runs wide there, not where he wants to be. Now he's set up himself in a bad position here for that left-hander. They're going to come back to the right, but Matthew Wood with a big power slide off the corner, but Luke Smith's just going to let him go, and Matthew David Wood moves up into 5th.
Yeah, Kermit the Frog, I think he's just going to be tickled to death to try to come home with a good finish here tonight and let Miss Piggy be happy with him here on a Friday night. Let Wood slide on up there, get it up into the top 5. Now he'll set his sights on Jeff Burke, one of the veterans here on the Friday night series, and try to make something happen as well. Check this out. Trevor Aspernoth in the 89. What happened to Trevor? Did he get tagged around? He's one of them. A lot of the fans out there, got a little bumper tag and kind of slid that 89 Toyota around. Actually, one of the Jack Shack guys right here with Trevor Astronaut, he was one of them through the King of Talladega, where everybody kind of made fun of him because of the pit board. Wesley and all of us, we were talking about the pit board. If you didn't see it, just go back and check it out after the race. Go check it out, whichever one he was in. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm not going to get fired. But anyway, everybody remembers Trevor because of the pit board at Talladega. So we'll see how that one works out. But I'll give you an idea. He spun it around right there. It wouldn't be. He just spun it around. He just loses it, got on the gas a little bit too much, I guess.
Yeah, we're following Matthew David Wood. He was actually a lot closer to Jeff Merck entering 1, but locked it up after 1, going into that little chicane 1 to 2. Locked it up, lost a lot of ground to Jeff Merck. Meanwhile, Tiny Horse is kind of putting the pressure there on Tristan Bruce. They're pretty close down this back straightaway. Call it about 4 truck lengths right now as they're going to come into that sweeping left, back into the right here, and then to the double right. So we finish off turn number 12 here. He's been holding around Tristan Bruce. We thought Bruce might try to get away based off of practice times, but Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson's doing just enough to stay in this fight. The problem is Matthew David Wood is gaining at a rapid pace, and he's going to try and make a move here on Jeff Merck probably in the next lap or so.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about this, Tyler, just a while ago, we were sitting here talking about him battling with Matthew Montgomery. They were, 6.5, 7 seconds back. Wood's already cut it down to almost 4 seconds. That's how tight it is right there. I mean, just a little over 4 seconds. Is Johnson still trying to wear out Tristan Bruce. little bit of the power from the tiny horse trying to make something happen right here. Florida Cabinets Distributor 38 Toyota trying to put the pressure on the youngster. Tristan Bruce, Adam Newton 3 seconds back from this. You see everybody file their way trying to follow Johnson, but Johnson not giving up. He's overshot the corner a couple times like you meant, Tyler, like you were talking about. But certainly not
Merck's
trying
around.
to make us. We got Merck around. If Wood's able to shoot by him, Jeff Merck trying to gas back up.
Yeah, Matthew David Wood was just applying that pressure, just being in that rearview mirror for a long time. You see he got really close there on that left-hander. As they're coming up to this tight right-hander, he kind of just brakes a little bit tight, and that truck just loops around, kind of just a little bit on the steering wheel input there while trying to get under braking. These trucks do not like braking while the wheels turn in any way, shape, or form, and the brake by is probably a little too far to the rear for Jeff Merck's liking with that truck right now. But last lap by, Tristan Bruce, the leader, ran a 1:17.3. Matthew David Wood ran a 1:18.2, lost a little bit of ground avoiding that spinning Jeff Merck, but I expect to see him to the back of Adam Newton here in about a lap and a half, maybe 2 laps. Adam Newton running nice, consistent 1:17.5, 1:17.6 most of the race so far. But looking back up at the battle, Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson call it about 2 truck lengths through this infield section.
Yeah, trying to make his way around right here, trying to shoot down to the inside, maybe trying to throw Bruce off, not able to do it. Not close enough. If he would have been just about another, give or take half a truck right there, he would have straight up set him around, but Johnson not giving up on old Tristan Bruce. Right here, lap 8, coming to lap 9. Remember, going all the way to 20. They go to 20, we'll get a caution, pay out some stage points. Obviously, stage point or stage winner, they get the playoff point, they get stage points. Everybody trying to work their way to get themselves in contention to be in the playoffs, because we're not too far off from the playoffs, to be honest with you, Tyler. I mean, we're sitting right here at week 9 or week 12, excuse me, of where they're at, week 12, and then we got to get all the way down here to the last one, which will be on February 20th, which is Daytona. So you got about a month and a half to try to get yourself in contention to make it up into that top 20, to make it up into the playoffs. So every race from here on is going to matter.
Yep, exactly. As we get close to that cut line, you see the top 20 here, but really the bigger battle is what's happening for that 24th through 28th position. It's about 4 points separating that 24th place driver to that 25th place driver, which is that playoff cutoff that we were talking about here. As Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson goes for the move down the inside, he looks for it. Doesn't get it, but he's now there. He's really throwing Tristan Bruce off his line. Bruce not able to get to the apex there on that left-hander. They're going to come back to this nice right tight chicane. Bruce covers down the inside. Tiny Horse trying to do the crossover. Can't get it. And here's what I'm seeing out of these two drivers. Bruce, before this past lap, where he's been playing way more defense, has really focused on exit speed. Meanwhile, Ryan Johnson has been way better at braking. He gets into the corners deeper, but he loses that exit speed, and that's going to hurt him here on this back straightaway. And it's going to hurt him on the front straightaway, but where it helps him is in that infield section where he's able to close up so much to that leader, Tristan Bruce's Matthew David Wood is called about 5 or 6 truck lengths now behind Adam Newton there for 4th. Last lap by, Matthew David Wood ran a 1:17.5. The leader, Tristan Bruce, 1:17.8. We'll see what they are at the line. Bruce, a 1:18.3, way off the pace. And then Matthew David Wood ran a 1:16.9, so a big chunk taken out there by Matthew David Wood.
And you mentioned that a second ago, Tyler, and I'm not trying to get any tips here on myself, because I suck at road courses in general. But, you were talking about that, Johnson gets in better and Tristan's able to get out better. Which would be the preferred one? I mean, is there a happy medium between them?
There's a happy medium, especially at this track. I think exit speed is super important out of turns 7 and 12, which is that tight right-hander you're about to see the leaders go to. This is where you need exit speed, because you're going to that long back straightaway, that sweeping back straightaway. As Johnson, much better exit there. He's going to keep it tight to Bruce, pick up a draft down this back straightaway. And then coming off of 12 onto the front stretch, that's where you need your exit speed. But I think that entire infield-ish section that I'm calling it, between turns about 4 through 7, it's all about entry, because you don't really have a long enough runoff on the exit for it to matter. You see, oh, wow, big slide there out of Ryan Johnson going into 11, now here to 12. This is where the exit speed matters. Bruce misses the apex. Johnson's going to have a chance coming into 1 because he's way better on entry here.
Yeah, but I mean, he is going to have to really drive it in there hard. You're riding on board with a tiny horse. Tristan Bruce got the better exit. See if he can make it happen. Look how much he gains trying to slide it in there. And check them out, just getting so close to hitting that inside wall. You got to cut it right there to be able to make something happen. And then right back to the left and then back to the right, all the way around Portland International Raceway here this evening on a beautiful Friday night. Everybody out there in the live chat, light it up. Let us know who you're pulling for here this evening. As you see the Bulldog Adam Newton, Tyler, you called it. Wood on the charge that last time, about 0.4 of a second faster than the leader, Tristan Bruce, but certainly that's got to play into the big factor that he has caught the Bulldog, Adam Newton, as now the Bulldog looked like he kind of blinked right there a little bit. I mean, Tyler, we know what that means, as far as a mile and a half, and certainly for super speedways, when somebody blinks a little bit in front of you. What's that mean when you're on a road course?
It's not as big of a factor as long as it's not into a heavy braking zone. Now we're going to see a big change, though. I think the leaders are slowly catching up to lap traffic. Yeah, Matthew Cummings right now running last still on the circuit. He's coming up here, but now we got side-by-side for third here. Matthew David Wood to the inside of Adam Newton. Almost looked like they touch, and Ryan Johnson's only a truck length back, the closest he's been coming into one. Can he use that braking prowess to take the lead? He's going to keep it about half a truck length as Matthew David Wood should get the inside. He'll clear Adam Newton into one. But Ryan Johnson's the closest he's been through that initial chicane. And really, it's all about can he continue to close on the infield section. He's been better than Tristan Bruce in this little infield area that I like to call it. But right now, they have a bigger fish to fry, and that's Matthew David Wood there in third, and he's closing in a hurry.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the front four guys, all of them separated by about 3 seconds. Then you got to go back another 8 seconds back to Jeff Merck. Literally, everybody fifth all the way back is literally waving the white flag right here, Tyler. I mean, they're not, they're surrendered. Let's go ahead. Let's get to the stage break and let's call it quits. But they still got 7 more laps. You see your biggest movers in the field, James Beard, up 11 spots all the way up to 10th. There's Wood. Now, technically, it would be MDW because he started at the back and drove all the way up here. But where Wood started at, that's where
Wood went wide. That's huge.
Wow, MDW off the racetrack. Good Lord.
That's a big mistake, but that's the problem with being the faster driver is you're willing to take those risks because in the long run, you're going to still close on these guys. You see, he's cleaning his tires as he goes on the front straight, trying to get rid of the grass that's on him. As you see now, Tristan Bruce and Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson lost a little bit of ground that last lap. Still trying to close in on the leader. I think Johnson is faster than Bruce, but he just can't make the pass. He hasn't found enough speed to get alongside and make that pass yet. I think Ryan would be able to start to gap Bruce, but with the dirty air he's seeing combined with how slick this track is, 105-degree track temps, pretty high for this circuit, how flat it is. He needs to get by if he doesn't want to be swallowed up by Matthew David Woods. It's only going to take about a lap or so before MDW is back on him.
Yeah, and sliding back here, seeing a little bit back here, sliding around. There's a 77. That's Curtis Banks. All this going on just outside of the top 10. There's Raul Meza. Meza up 10 spots from where he started at as well. So pretty good drive right there for Raul Meza. Sliding up here, trying to make it up inside the top 10. You got 3 guys right here, Meza, Banks, Osborne sliding in here. And then Dana Shepard. I know Shepard's got some fans out there in the live chat, obviously going to be pulling for him. But, I talk about this, I've talked about it before, Tyler, that, there is drivers that are good at road courses. There are drivers that they circle this one on the schedule, that this is their place to possibly get a win, to have a good finish. And then there's some of them that come into these road courses like me that would come into this and just say, you know what, if I get a top 10, I'll be happy with that. I mean, just survive. And, that's one thing I'll say a lot of times is just to if you can stay on the track, if you cannot wreck, stay on the track, odds are you're probably going to come out of this with a top 10. So I always look at these races as survival races more than anything.
Yeah, and that's a good attitude to have, I think, for a lot of the guys who maybe struggle with road course racing, that are in these series that decide not to show up tonight. Honestly, you don't need to be the fastest. If you just keep it on the track, you'll definitely get a top 15, top 20, because it's so easy to make a mistake at these tracks. And when you come to those sweeping corners like, 10, 11, 12 here at Portland, it's so easy to make a big mistake. We saw a massive crash here at IndyCar this past year where Connor Daly got absolutely turned going into that sweeping left to right here at the end of this back straightaway. Massive collision, and that can happen at any moment if you have a bigger field. So staying on track is just such a huge key. As you see, Matthew David Wood has closed up on these leaders in a hurry. He's now, 3-4 truck lengths behind Ryan Johnson. Leaders have some pressure behind them. we look further up the road, first car still on track. That's still not a lap down. Adam Lighty, he just got through the chicane. Leaders are going to close on him, but we're kind of running out of laps here. We got, call it 6 to go here now till the end of stage 1. As you see now, we have a three-way battle for the lead as MDW has entered the chat.
And, we already saw Wood get around Newton. We saw him get around Merck. Well, Merck actually spun himself out. Newton was able to, kind of try to work over with Wood, and Wood was able to drive right past him. But now he's gotten to the cream of the crop. Now, Tyler, he has gotten up here to the front of the pack. He's got up here to Tristan Bruce and Johnson, who have literally been fighting it out ever since the damn drop of the green flag. So Wood now is going to be in the position. He's going to be in the situation to where he's going to have to pick his spot and get around it. But I will say this: if he can, Johnson hit the chip. Oh, good Lord! I think he might have spun her out big time. He got down on the throttle, might have missed the shift one way or another. That is going to be detrimental for Johnson, who was so close to battling it out right there with OTB.
Yeah, and that's, that pressure of seeing Matthew David Wood in your mirror. He's the fastest guy on track. He got super close to the 3, and just the left side just gets into the grass over the rumble strips, and around you go. And, that's all he wrote. He's going to drop down to 4th, but he has such a gap behind him. He can just get in behind Adam Newton and kind of continue on his way. So not a huge loss for Ryan Johnson, especially with, that caution coming up here in 5 laps' time. Not a big deal, but Matthew David Wood, he is right there behind Tristan Bruce. Call it about a truck and a half, maybe 2 truck lengths here as they exit the chicane. He is there, and he is moving in a hurry. You got a huge shout out to Matthew David Wood for running the way he is, but maybe some trouble further on back in the field between Trevor Azarnoff and another driver based on what I'm just hearing over the driver radio chat. We'll have to see what that happens as we watch this battle for the lead continue.
Kind of what happened right here. Look at Trevor Aspernoff, Dana Shepard. Do we have beef? That is the question. Oh, wow. Aspernoff hits the grass and just got him right in the left rear, spun him around. And I don't know. Shepard may have a little bit of beef right there with him. What do you think?
Yeah, and then that's purely on Aspernoff, and he apologized for it pretty quickly on the radio. And it looks like the 89 is going to get a drive-through based on race control's message there. As we see a new leader now, Matthew David Wood's gotten around Tristan Bruce. We'll have to see if we can go back and find what the pass was. I believe it was coming down the back straightaway, just out-braking him. May have even got him even earlier. He had a great run there out of 7 and just absolutely flew down to his inside. Looks like, Tristan Bruce, just kind of let him have it. Not really worth fighting for. He's the faster driver. Just get to the end of the stage. Maybe he makes a mistake on pit road. But now here comes the battle. Lap traffic's here. Adam Lighty is just, call it about 12, 15 truck lengths ahead of Matthew David Wood. And, not much of a gap until you got a couple of trucks here on the infield section, a bunch of trucks actually, including Ed Osborne, Cody Knott, Trevor Aswarnoth, who has that pass through, Curtis Banks, Dana Shepard, who got spun around. That's going to affect these leaders. They're going to have to adjust their lines, right? I always say the lap car, unless it's a straightaway, run your line. Be consistent. Give me a place to go so I know where you're going to be. Versus like a straightaway, hey, just get out of the way. You have enough time, move over to the side, let me go. And you see very, very respectful there by Adam Light. Just kind of gets out of the way, lets the 2 leaders go.
Yeah, done a fantastic job, slid right over, let both of them slide right on by. And Bruce is not, I mean, Wood, as fast as he has been, Wood is not necessarily pulling away. He is gapping Tristan Bruce, but not by as much as I was expecting. I figured, I figured it was going to be at least 2 seconds every single time. We'll see what the lap time is. Wood, mind you, the fastest truck throughout the race, hit the fastest lap at a 1:15.893. We'll see what Wood hits this time, 1:18.214, and Tristan Bruce at a 1:19.020. Obviously, they were getting around Adam Lichty, or Adam Lighty just a second ago, trying to work around him. Now they work around Curtis Banks. Banks just slides right over. So a lot of these lap cars, doing what you were talking about, being very respectful, just pulling out of the way, knowing these guys are going, but you got to think for a second, once it gets down close to the end of the stage, that one caution that's going to come out, Tyler, these guys back here, Shepard, he may be in a good position to get the lucky dog, but if it gets right there with Cody Knott and Ed Osborne, if somehow or another they wants to catch them that fast, we got guys racing for the lucky dog. That will beef up the battle going on in front of the leaders big time, because you get that caution, you're going to be on the lead lap. You get in those first 2 turns, it could be a huge stack up, and it can help yourself out for stage 2 and also for stage 3.
Yeah, you just see the difference in closing speed between MDW and some of these guys, these lap down drivers here, as he's able to close so much on Shepard. He's going to get Shepard. He's going to see the 2 to go here at the end of the stage. He's got 2 laps remaining, but you see a battle here for 10th. Stage points on the line between James Beard and Devin Painter. These drivers are going to battle each other tough. And now really what Dana Shepard is hoping is that MDW doesn't get to the back of Cody Knott here in time before the end of the stage, hoping he gets that lucky dog when that caution does come out to end stage 1. But hey, this is a battle for a point. And a point may not mean a lot to a lot of people here watching at home, but a point could be the difference between, you making the playoffs and not if you're a driver who doesn't have a win yet. We're coming down, we have 5 weeks left in the regular season here to go. These races are vital. Every point matters. So you're going to see James Beard try to get around Devin Painter here for that 10th position here as we're coming down in the last few laps.
Yeah, Tyler, me and you, we've been around for a good while here with the North American Sim Racing Association. We've seen drivers miss out. Granted, it was in the playoffs, and they missed out on the championship race by 1 point. So, that is possible. It has happened, not necessarily to get into the playoffs, per se, but to make it through other rounds. So it is possible to be missing out on it by 1 point. So every little point will matter. And Devin Painter, the silent assassin, trying to hold off OJB back there, James Beard, and that 25. And Beard, he's up 10 spots. Painter's up 8 spots as well. So a lot of drivers on the move, and then there's other drivers that are dropping down big time. Like Ed Osborne, he's lost 8 spots as well. But this battle for this 10th spot is just straight up heating up as Wood is just pulling away from Tristan Bruce.
Yeah, he is. He's calling about 16, maybe 20 car lengths now between MDW and Tristan Bruce. But there is no bigger Cody Knott fan on the circuit right now than Dana Shepard. He is hoping Cody Knott holds off MDW here for another call about half a lap as they got the 1 to go. But Cody Knott misses that left-hander on the infield section as we're watching that battle there. But here is the battle for that lucky dog we're talking about here. The right-hander, Cody Knott, call it about 15 truck lengths. Misses the apex there again. Dana Shepard's just hoping he can hold on, but it looks like Cody Knott may just pull over. Call it about 5-6 truck lengths. MDW's got a big run there off of 7 as they work down this back straightaway. No one is hoping for Cody Knott to hold on to the spot more than Dana Shepard so he can get that lucky dog here in about half a lap's time.
Yeah, Dana Shepard, I'm sure he's got somebody hollering at him in his ear, letting him know what's going on right here with Cody Knott. Knott trying to drive it through. Here comes MDW. Will he be able to get there? Oh, is he gonna pull over at the start-finish line? No, he's not. I thought for a second he was gonna pull it over, but Dana Shepard is gonna get lucky here tonight. He may want to go get him a lottery ticket, but this thing's all said and done. Dana Shepard gonna get the lucky dog. Cody Knott's gonna stay on the lead lap. And MDW, Matthew David Wood will win stage number 1 here in the ButtKicker 125 in Portland. Caution is out. Oh, baby, Tyler, I got to tell you, baby, I never have cared to watch road course racing, but it always seems like when NASRA gets the road course racing going on, it's always action-packed.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like road course racing because, they're not the big packs, especially in trucks, right? The mile and a halves, we kind of all stay bunched up for the few exceptions, right? Kentucky's one of those where we can get spaced out. Kansas is another, but like Las Vegas, Charlotte, those other mile and a halves, we kind of stay bunched up most of the time. But road course racing is one of those kind of weird, challenges where these drivers have a lot to think about, and it's a lot longer of a battle. You see, Devin Painter was able to hold off there for the 10th spot over James Beard, but it's one of those unique challenges when you come to these road courses where drivers are kind of trying to push their limit, and a lot of guys are uncomfortable. And I absolutely think road course racing is a great test for some of these guys, and I wish more guys would show up to these road course races because you have some great battles throughout. Like, unfortunately, it looks like Matthew David Wood might run away with this one tonight, but we saw him make a mistake earlier. All it takes is one mistake from the top dog, and it's chaos, and the rest of the field can pounce. Even I have a road course win here.
I'll say this, Tyler, real quick. You're talking about chaos next week. It will be chaos because going to Bristol next week, going short track racing. MDW, winner of stage number 1. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Be right back. We'll talk to you, stage 1 winner. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series live on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Drivers on pit road. We're back here at Portland. MDW working his way down on pit road. Everybody, Tyler, what would be the call right here? Because, you know, numerous times at road courses, you see guys, you know, I mean, do you take 4 tires? Do you not take it? I would think you would, especially right here under caution. But, you know, when we have those pit stops later on, do you take tires or do you not take tires? Track tips at 113 is, whoa, Wood not able to get beat out right there. Tristan Bruce and Adam Newton beat him out. But do you take tires later on here in the race, even with the track tip as high as it is?
You do, and there's a couple reasons why. So the thing with Portland Raceway is there's a lot more wear on your left front here than any other tire, and that's specifically because of turn 4 you see down here, or turn 3, I believe. Turn 3, pretty rough on the left front. Turn 7, that little like kind of hairpin we're talking about, big action corner we've seen tonight, big left front tire wear. And then the turn 12 here, also big left front tire wear. You're going to see the left fronts kind of burn off. The drivers are going to get tight. And that's, I think, why you're going to always take 4 tires, because the rights are going to get beat up a little bit, but the left front is going to see the most wear out of any of your tires here on a road course, other than maybe your rears if you're lighting them up with the track temp the way it is. But like we said, MDW, you know, huge drop there. He lost 2 spots on pit road. Tristan Bruce, that number 1 pit stall, got out ahead of him, and so did Adam Newton. And it looked like they all took 4 tires from what I saw based on pit stop timing. So big deals. We're looking to get our stage 1 winner up here in the booth, Matthew David Wood. And we're joined now by Matthew David Wood, your stage 1 winner. Matt, he came from the back, he drove expertly through the field. Only 1 mistake, and we saw it in turns 11 and 12, which is kind of an action corner here. Talk us through that mistake and also that drive through the field.
Well, if you haven't seen the first corner of the race, I don't know how I didn't wreck myself. That was probably gained 5 or 6 spots in the first corner, but yeah, it's very common to do. I bottomed out on the second curb and just went off into the grass. We saw it in real life. I forget who did it in the Xfinity race, but just went a little bit wide, and then once you clip that second curb, it's on the left side, driver's left, it just shoots you back out. And luckily I noticed my mistake even before I was going into the right-hander, and I was able to slow it down before I veered off into the wall, and I kept third. But yeah, the lower position on pit road does hurt me though, because I just lost 2 spots on pit road because of it. But you know, just enjoying my birthday and just having fun out here.
Well, right off the bat, buddy, happy birthday to you, MDW. And real quick, as y'all doubling up, getting ready to take the green right here. You know, I mean, you had the back-to-back wins. You had to start at the back and everything. I mean, any other track, I would think you would want to start at the back, at least for me personally. Well, actually, scratch that. I would love to start at the back at a road course just because that would be me. But you've always been fast at these road courses. Is that a detriment to you to have to start at the back, or is it just more fun to you to have to start at the back and try to pass everybody?
I love going through the field no matter where it's at, so I find it fun to me. But again, I've had to start in the back a couple times at road courses, I think. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What do you think of Portland International Raceway, Matthew, as a road course? I think it offers a lot of great opportunities and pretty decent racing compared to some of the road courses we see from NASCAR and IndyCar these days.
I definitely think so as well. I love the way it drives. I got my first IndyCar official win here, so I love this place. I always have. I think it offers some of the most exciting racing we could see. Of course, there's very, very fun tracks to go to. Sonoma's one of them, but on the real life calendar. But I personally love Portland. It's sad to see it get taken off the Xfinity schedule, but hopefully it gets back one day, and hopefully we could see it in the Cup Series one day. I hope, anyway.
Well, MDW, Matthew David Wood got the stage 1 win. He'll be restarting from the 3rd spot. See if he can try to go for the sweep here tonight on his birthday. Be a hell of a birthday present for him. MDW, buddy, congratulations on stage 1. Good luck the rest of the race.
Thank you. God bless everybody.
I'm telling you what, I mean, what a birthday present it would be for the youngster, MDW, to get a win on his birthday. Very good possibility. You see the pace lights is out on the pace truck, getting ready to work the way down. And I will say this, I think we're in for one hell of an action-packed stage 2, stage 3. Folks, We're back here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Whatever you're watching on a computer, an iPad, a TV, or help you just listening to us in your truck on the way home from work or going to work. Crank it up here tonight for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. We're back with the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Enjoy, folks.
Wow, leader Tristan Bruce really slowed up the field there. He saw Raul Meza get out of line at one point, get back in line. 3 wide there for third, further on back. You see Matthew David Wood's going to be on the outside there. Everyone gets through. It looks like pretty clean there in that initial chicane. Matthew David Wood and Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson, it looks like MDW is going to get clear of them as they go down in towards turn 3.
Going down into turn 3, working their way. Wood able to slide up here, try to hold on to the third spot. Johnson right in behind them, trying to make something happen. Tristan Bruce knowing that Wood has been very fast. Stage one, he is trying to jump out to an early lead and gas up and get away. The Bulldog Adam Newton hold on to second, Wood third, Johnson fourth, and Merck trying to hold on to fifth. Freeman, Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog, Mr. Sacco, Nick Sacco, Silent Assassin, Devin Pater, James Beard, the top 10. They worked their way down that long back chute.
Oh, trouble back there.
Spot. Whoa, it's Jeff Merck in the 60, spinning around. Wow, Jeff Merck free falling through the field.
That's a hard hit. His truck might be done. He's already towed it back to the garage, but we'll have to go back and check a replay of that. That was a hard hit into the outside wall there on that very, very fast back straightaway as MDW's already up into the second position. Got by Adam Newton down that backstretch going into turn number 10. So look further up through the field. MDW already putting the pressure to Tristan Bruce here. Gonna pressure him through the chicane. Bruce doing a good job keeping it nice and tidy. There's Ryan Johnson trying to close back in, but we're gonna have to see what happened exactly to Jeff Merck there. Looks like, did he get turned or did he just get a tire in the grass there?
Have to hide your kids and hide your wives, hide your ex-wives.
Oh, he got loose.
Good Lord, he got sideways. Look at this. Oh, no. Oh, Lord. And there you see the poof of smoke right there. He's done. That is basically an engine blown up, an engine detonated, motor blown right there for Jeff Merck. And remember, these guys, they don't have fast repairs, Tyler. You know, we don't have fast repairs here in Nazareth, so you screw your truck up, you blow the engine. Jeff Merck done for the evening. Hell, he was running in the 5th spot. Just got up on the gas a little bit too much, got a little squirrely, got a little sideways at 113-degree track temp. Spot him around, hits the inside wall. Jeff Merck done for the evening.
Yeah, and we see a very different Tristan Bruce from the last time he had MDW on his back bumper. He kind of just let MDW go for that stage 1, but he did not pull over there on the back straightaway. I'm expecting to see more of this from other drivers throughout the field because there's no more guaranteed cautions throughout the rest of this race. It is all down to pit strategy. When are you going to come in and get those 4 fresh tires, and track position? And Bruce is going to do everything he can to keep the 21 machine behind him for the remainder of this race.
And remember, you know, Tyler, you know, we went back green around lap 24, 25, give or take. So going all the way to 65, you mentioned it, no cautions. Obviously going all the way to 45, which would be, lap 40 for your stage 2. You know, when is that pit window going to open up to make that pit stop? When do you expect these guys to jump down pit road?
I expect a lot of these guys to kind of just split it in half, minimize the amount of tire wear they have to deal with either way. So I expect to see these guys coming in. Stage ends around lap 40. I expect these guys to come in, call it about lap 42, 45-ish range, just to split it in half. Nice and easy. We see Tristan Bruce going to go side by side with Matthew David Wood into this sweeping left-hander. That's going to be tight. He gets the pass there. What a pass by Matthew David Wood. In a bad position for that left to right kind of chicane, but does a masterful job. As we saw Ryan Johnson get by Adam Newton for third there on the infield section last time around. And now Matthew David Wood up in the lead. We'll see how much of a gap he can put on the rest of this field, but I don't expect it to be long until he starts catching the rear end of this field.
No, I mean, he is absolutely moving right now. Trevor Astronaut about a minute and 6 seconds behind him. Something, maybe a miss on the 89 of Astronaut, why he's back so far. But, yeah, I mean, he'll be able to catch him pretty fast and then shepherd up the road from him up. And that's the top 17 drivers that is on the lead lap. That's what you're looking at. Adam Lichty 1 lap down, just hoping for some chaos to happen, some guys to try to pull some Jeff Merck kind of stuff to be able to try to slide up through here. But OTB, Tristan Bruce already back a second. Wood already tried to put the hammer down, trying to gas up, get out of here. Here's Matthew Montgomery in the 24. It's all right here around the 10th spot. Rodriguez in front of him and Osborne behind him as well. And I'm telling you, Montgomery trying to make something happen. There's Luke Schmidt, Kermit the Frog. He's got Nick Sacco behind him. You got, craziest nicknames. Some of the craziest nicknames I've ever heard here in Nazareth. You got Kermit the Frog. You got Mr. Sacco, Silent Assassin, Tiny Horse. The weatherman. Hell, it seems like we're kind of Sesame Street over here just a little bit, but they got the they got the Sesame Street nicknames, but they got the attitude of the Attitude Era from the WWF. It's just crazy how this stuff is.
Yeah, we just seen an Oscar the Grouch and a Big Bird. And we'll be good to go. Maybe a Bert and Ernie as well. We just need to find a duo that likes each other but also hates each other. As we see, Azronoff goes off track in the infield section. And Azronoff, the reason why he's so far back is he took the wave around, right? He went a lap down because he had a pass-through penalty for the contact with Dana Shepard earlier on in stage 1. He took the wave around, which means he didn't catch all the way back up to the field in time due to how quick the laps are here and how long it takes for you to catch up to the field with the 1-to-go sign. So he's going to be the first victim for Matthew David Wood to put a lap down. There's no more cautions the rest of the way. So really what he's hoping is he can just outpace the remainder of the field and kind of gain up on a couple of these guys who are on the tail end and make up a couple of spots. But I expect it to be maybe a lap or two before Matthew David Wood gets around him at most here, as he's already making up a lot of ground. As Azronoff off track again, another big miss there in the left to right. David Wood call it about 10 car lengths till he gets another driver a lap down.
Yeah, MDW really opening it up already at about a 2.5 seconds over Tristan Bruce, and Tiny Horse about a second back from Bruce. Then you got another second back to Newton, another second back to Freeman. So that's pretty much how the top 5 is separated. Freeman up 11 spots from where he started here this evening. There's James Beard still trying to work over Devin Painter. These two kind of just right beside one another right there. You're talking about the Burt and Ernie going, oh no, hell, what a save. Locked it up. Tail end almost came around for James Beard, but hell of a save by the 25. He almost lost it.
And for those of you who don't know, like in sim racing and in real life, that is so difficult when the truck's already sideways on entry and you're going into a right-hander. Every part of you is you want to turn the wheel to the right to make the corner, but you got to come back to the left to keep the truck in line. That is such a difficult save to make. What a job by James Beard there to keep the truck in line, keep everything together. As you see, Tristan Bruce under fire by Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson. We saw that battle a lot to begin stage 1 until MDW came in and Ryan Tiny Horse made that mistake. As you see, it looks like these drivers are just going to keep going back and forth at it for that second position. I expect that battle for second and the battle for 8th to be really intense between James Beard, Devin Painter, and then Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson and Tristan Bruce. As we see, Azronoff goes a lap down there, missing again another 10 and 11 and 12 corner entry.
I'm telling you, this is going to get absolutely good here tonight. Tiny Horse tried to track down Tristan Bruce, and hell, everybody really trying to figure out which area code that Wood is in to try to at least find him. If they can see him, then they feel like they got a shot at this point. At least I would think, Tyler, because if you lose track of where he's at, then you got to think. What is there to go for? Especially for the win. But the cool thing about it is, though, you got these guys right here: Tristan Bruce, Ryan Johnson, and then Newton not too far back from him, and then Freeman not too back. They have something to go for, at least to try to go for that second spot. Because talking about those points, talking about the playoffs, these points is gonna matter. From 5th all the way up to 2nd, just those extra points will matter. So they got something to kind of race for. And, some of these guys probably got a little bit of beef between one another. Who knows? Who knows what everybody said over the Christmas break? We might have had some guys tell somebody to stick it one way or another. You don't know. So, they may have a little bit of beef. We may see a little bit of bumping and banging right here in the later portions of this race with some of these guys up there in the top 5 to try to get those points.
100%, and honestly, if they keep themselves within 10 to 15 seconds of MDW, one mistake by MDW, we've already seen him make one today with that turns 10, 11, 12. He makes another one. These guys are right back in it, especially with a pit stop still to go. If MDW, slides through his box, he speeds on pit road. All it takes is one mistake from the leader, as invincible as he may seem. Some people may view him as like the Shane Van Gisbergen of road courses, which Van Gisbergen has won at Portland International Raceway. I actually saw him do it live in person. But all it takes is one mistake from that leader who seems invincible, and these other 3 drivers, really second through fourth, including Adam Newton in that conversation, who's super consistent on road courses, may not be the fastest, but he's just so consistent. He doesn't make those big mistakes. They're right back in this race.
Think about it like this. If any of you has joined us here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network and watched some of the endurance races, kind of preliminaries with their series getting started up here this year, think about this. Wood and Octavio Rondoletto had a race going on, and Wood sped on pit road. He had a fantastic shot to battle with Rondoletto in that race. Could have possibly passed him and won that particular race, but he sped on pit road. He got that 40-second hold. Still come back and finish second, I believe it was.
Yep.
But it is possible to have that happen. So Wood has had that happen in the past. I'm sure he's going to watch this back and go, well, damn, Jake, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But history does have a chance at repeating itself. Tyler, we've seen it time and time again. So Wood's got to be thinking about that. He knows he's got that pit stop at least in the back of his mind, but also with the amount of laps that he's got, every single lap, he could just completely lose focus and just completely drive it off the track and completely screw himself. So he's not out of the woods yet. None of these guys is out of the woods yet by a long shot.
Yeah, we see Raul Meza sitting there in the 13th position, trying to catch up there to that 28 machine of Ed Osborne. He's trying to make a pass there, getting really close. Raul Meza, a decent road course racer, not going to set any land speed records anytime soon, but is able to get that truck through the course relatively clean, doesn't make a ton of mistakes, kind of just a little bit of a slower Adam Newton in my opinion. But, you bring up that upcoming Tuesday night series. We're 18 days away from the kickoff of the Prosper Engineering GT3 Endurance Series on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Tuesday nights, 2-hour races. The season kicks off at the Charlotte Roval. And I'll tell you, Matthew David Wood and Adam Newton are guys to look out for. I'll be running in that series as well. Don't expect a lot from me. I don't do a ton of sports car. I do mostly do open wheel on the side for fun, but I'll be hopping behind a lovely Aston Martin there for that series. But that's a great series to look forward. 2-hour races, right? In a 2-hour race, you have time you can make up for a mistake, right? As we saw with, Matthew David Wood. He made that mistake a couple weeks ago and almost made up for it. You can do that early on in a 2-hour race, but when you only have 32 laps left, and a lap around here only takes about a minute 15-ish, 1 minute 16 seconds. It's not a ton of time to make up.
Aaron James Beard made a mistake in the 25. Let's see what happened. He was right in behind Devin Painter, just absolutely pressuring him. Damn, he set it in there, almost got into him and drove it right through the grass. Kind of a Dale Earnhardt line, if you will. Just got to just a little short crack. Just drive right on through the grass, try to make it happen, jump right back on, no harm, no foul. But, Tyler, we've seen this with these road courses that, there is that, penalty that these drivers do get if you're off the track or you cut the track or something like that, which is why you see James Beard being so far back from Devin Painter, maybe have to lift out of the gas and get out of the throttle and not you just have to slow down enough for that counter to just go away, because I think you get, 30, 40 seconds to make it happen, but you got to slow down to a reasonable amount for so long before that whole thing will go away, and if you don't, you get black flag.
Yep, you have about 40 seconds to make up essentially whatever possible delta you could have gained, and sometimes really what you did had no benefit, but the sim will penalize you for you got to slow 2 or 3 or 4 seconds down depending on the corner, and sometimes you do gain quite a bit when you make those mistakes, but you have about 40 seconds. You really should get it done before the end of the lap because your lap won't get time. But as you see the battle here for second between Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson and Tristan Bruce heating up. And Adam Newton's sitting there about 7-8 trucks back. He's right there. If these two guys make a mistake, get into each other, he's right there to pounce on and get that second place position.
Yeah, very good possibility. You were talking about also with the endurance series coming up on Tuesday nights, running in that. And obviously, Bristol is the next race right after Portland. But next Friday night, we're not racing. Obviously, we're getting ourselves lined up for the NASCAR 500 The King of Daytona, which will be next week. If you haven't yet, make sure you get yourself signed up for it. We'll show you a QR code here in just a little while later on here in the event, kind of let you know What you line up
wide.
is everything is damn, we got one off the track behind them. That was Ed Osborne able to get back on there. And Tyler, would you think that right there, speaking of that penalty off track, you think Ed Osborne might have got a penalty for that one? Or because
No,
I wouldn't think he
so.
would.
No, that's outside the corner. That's more just an off-track incident point. He's going to just lose time inherently based off of, taking the long way and not as much grip on those tires. So I don't expect any slowdown penalty for that. More just an incident point for the off-track, and he lost the ground more than enough from where he was compared to that field. But, these drivers, every position matters. Every position's a point, and as we talked about earlier, right, 1 point can be the difference between you advancing in the next round of the playoffs. 1 point can be the difference between you making the playoffs. I mean, I've lost out on advancing in a round of the playoffs by 1 point. I did miss a race in that round, and I almost made it back by only running 2 of the 3 races. But it's very challenging. It's very competitive in these series. NASCAR 360, the North American Sim Racing Association, we have a lot of really, really talented drivers. You see James Beard already coming back at Devin Painter after his earlier off-track excursion. He hit him! Beard goes wide. Painter saved it. What a save by Devin Painter there in turn 12 after getting absolutely rear-ended by James Beard.
Yeah, I'll be just straight up getting T-boned in the back end for Devin Painter, and he's able to gas up, carry on. James Beard now going to have to gather back up and get some of that lost luster to be able to catch back up to him. Remember, Beard was the one that had the penalty a while ago, the Dale Earnhardt that threw the grass and then was able to, go away with that penalty and then get back up there behind the back end of Devin Painter. Now he's going to have to make up that lost ground. I got a feeling if James Beard was able to get around Devin Painter and at least finish ahead of him tonight, I think he will actually go buy himself some whiskey and celebrate on that one, because he has tried so damn hard so many times to try to get around that 99. He just ain't been able to do it. If he can get around him, I think that'll be a win in his book.
I want to go back to Matthew David Wood's last lap. He lost 2 seconds on second place. It's down to under 5 seconds. If we can find out what happened to him, I think he had an off-track excursion here on the infield section. He got really loose, missed the apex. We'll have to see what happened here. Yeah, it goes off track there. Yeah, exactly, just like that. We were talking about, these top-end drivers, they get super confident, and they're really good at this stuff. But all it takes is one small mistake, and you lose 2-3 seconds on the field. And he already lost 2 seconds there on second place, and he lost another 3/10 there on the previous lap. Tristan Bruce closed another 3/10 this past lap. This is not done, ladies and gentlemen. I know we were talking about Matthew David Wood, fastest guy out there. He got off to a big lead. It just takes a few small mistakes like that in a race, and it's a race. There is no difference here. It's very easy to make mistakes, especially in stock cars, trucks, Xfinity Series cars on these road courses, to make a mistake like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Wood now trying to open it back up one way or another. Here's Ed Osborne right there, smack dab in the middle of a little battle with Matthew Montgomery. Rodriguez right there in front of him. And Raul Mesa's actually joined up into the spray as well. There you see the 37, the Serpro truck smack dab behind this as well. All of this going on for a top 10 here tonight. Yep. I mentioned that a second ago, Tyler. We were talking about it. Just survive, try to make it happen. Osborne slides out wide. Mesa down to his inside.
Someone's in the infield.
Will he be able to make it work? Now he's going to go to the outside. He's going to try to maybe cross him over. He may pull it off. Mesa to the right side of Ed Osborne, trying to make the pass, and they are slugging it out, trying to shoot down the back chute.
Someone was also in the infield there. We saw kind of in the wide shot in the grass ahead of these drivers. But this is a huge battle here to get inside the top 10 for some stage points coming. Meza gets really loose there into the left-hander. Keeps it on track, but Ed Osborne's going to hold on to the position. But I think maybe Devin Painter had an off-road excursion there. Yeah, Painter's lost out to James Beard. We'll see exactly what happened here. If he just gets loose into this sharp right-hander, spins it around. Yep, left side just touches the grass, and around he goes. So move James Beard up into the 8th position. Painter just missed a chicane as well. Absolutely missed. He's going to have a slowdown penalty, and that's just going to bring that group of 4, Josh Rodriguez and more, up onto him here. And it's going to get very, very tight. It looks like maybe even Osborne just had an off-track excursion. Meza's gotten back around.
Yeah, James Beard might already have the whiskey in hand on that one, as I was talking about a while ago. Now he's already shot past Devin Painter, and Painter already had his issues as well. Mind you, we are with 2 laps to go here at stage number 2. Remember, going all the way to lap 40. No caution at the end of that lap 40. So we're getting ready to get it going. Wood trying to make it happen. Here we go. See what happened with Cody Knott right here. Pulse Popper's instant replay, ironically enough. Pulse Popper's truck right here, the 26. Just, damn, that turn right there has just been a pain in the tail for these drivers here tonight.
I told you, turn 7 is going to be where a lot of issues happen. It's a very sharp right-hander as these drivers go to this long, sweeping back straightaway. Drivers are going to make mistakes, and they have been making mistakes all night long. And we're going to see more and more of that as this race goes on, as these tires start to wear. As you see about 2 laps left to go for the leader here for the end of this stage. Call it 1 to go now. Matthew David Woods on lap 40. Finishing up this lap should collect stage number 2 win, but we're staying green, and it'll be interesting to see when these guys decide to pit here. It's going to be a huge challenge. Do they just split in half as soon as they cross for that stage? Or are they just going to come down and pit? I'd expect maybe Matthew David Wood pits in the next 5 or so laps here for that truck. But these drivers have their hands full, and the battle for the top 10 here is definitely on for who gets the stage point. Josh Rodriguez currently right ahead of Matthew Montgomery, who's right behind Devin Painter, who we just saw spun out of turn 7, but Matthew David Wood's going to win stage 2.
Yeah, by ease, over 4.5 seconds. MDW, happy birthday to that young man. Will end up winning stage number 2 by ease. Now, when will he decide to pit, and how will all that work out for stage 3? We're going to fly back here real quick, see what happens with Josh Rodriguez, see what happened with him as you see Tristan Bruce and others. Who is going to win the 10th spot to try to get those stage points we were talking about? Rodriguez, you see him right here. He's trying to go after Devin Painter. Looks like Rodriguez, I have it with ease. Painter able to kind of get lucky. Could have really lost a whole lot worse, but he's going to be able to pull it off. And Montgomery right behind him, he said, screw it, I'm pitting now. He pitted before the stage break, knew he wasn't going to get the stage points. He said, screw it, I'm going to go ahead and elect to do that and pit on the stage break, right? Coming to the line to complete the stage break. Matthew Montgomery electing to do something different than what the rest of the field's doing.
Yeah, he's trying to go for that undercut, which may work out for him depending on how these drivers come down pit road here. He comes out here. If he gets like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 laps with those fresh tires over the rest of the field, he's going to have a pretty big advantage. Matthew David Wood staying out on track for now, not pitting. He's deciding to continue on even though he's already won the stage. So we'll have to see what the rest of this field does versus tires and how this track's going. Because I guarantee the rears are going to be struggling for a lot of these guys with how many spins we've seen, how loose these trucks have been. And then that left front, I think, is going to be the other caveat there on how these drivers are handling. But maybe Wood just locked up. Oh, Matthew Wood's big mistake in the chicane. And that's going to allow a little bit of close up there. He's going to be stuck behind some traffic of Dana Shepard and Matthew Montgomery, who just pitted for fresh tires. This may allow Tristan Bruce to kind of close the gap here as he works through this infield section.
Yeah, I mean, big right there for Wood trying to make it happen. Hell, at one point, he was up about 6 seconds. We were sitting there just watching it right there on the interval. 6 seconds ahead of Bruce. Now that's already cut in half and already down to 3.5 seconds. Now slowly starting to rise back up as well. Wood is, James Beard off track, but Wood is literally playing, he's got a cat with 9 lives, but the problem is, Tyler, as well as I do, that cat that's got 9 lives, eventually those 9 lives is going to run out. That's just the problem. It's just how many more times has Wood got to screw up like that for it to be able to save him and not be so detrimental to where you see Tristan Bruce and Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson still sitting in the fray and still seeing where Wood is.
Someone just completely missed the chicane. That was Matthew Montgomery, who just went straight through, missed his braking point. He's going to have a pretty significant slowdown. I don't know if I'll go back, but James Beard had an off-track excursion. If I'm one of the guys sitting 2nd through 5th, why not pit now? It's clear Matthew David Wood isn't pitting. He's not putting down blazing fast laps. His last lap was a 1:19. Pit now, maybe get your truck some clean air, get fresh tires, and try to close that gap, and maybe he comes out behind you. You can give him dirty air and make his life a little bit miserable for a while. Like, why not take that opportunity to come down pit as soon as you got the stage points? And you see Matthew Montgomery just blazing through the chicane there. Did not even get close to making it.
Wow. Missed it by a mile, literally, Matthew Montgomery. And And Matthew Montgomery was one of those drivers. He has already went down pit road. Got his 4 freshies, and set it back out there. Obviously, pitted on lap 40. Raul Meza, he has already went in. He pitted on 41 as well. So there you see Montgomery having to serve that penalty from overshooting the corner. And that's exactly what happened to Montgomery, having to slide down through there with everybody else shooting by him as well. So he had to give it back. But big time, I'm telling you, it just that I don't know what it is. Not to mention the track temp, it's getting hotter. I mean, hell, what did it start at? What, 110, 104, 10? I mean, whatever the hell it started at.
It started at 105.
Yeah, now it's 116 degrees. I mean, it is just rising.
Yeah. It is now up to even 117. I just don't understand why the guys 2nd through 5th aren't taking an opportunity to try something different. You're just going to follow the leader. Guess what you're going to do? Follow the leader the entire race. Why not come down as soon as the stage was over, try to get fresh tires, try the undercut, see if you come out ahead of him when he finally decides to pit. Give yourself a chance at least. Like, you're not going to win this race the way it's going unless Matthew David would make it. Oh, we got a spinner back there. It looks like maybe Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson went around. Not really sure what happened there. Yep, it is. He's same corner, turn number 7, Jacob. Turn 7's been calamity corner for these drivers today.
Yeah, and odds are probably the same damn thing that happened to him is the same thing that's happened every single time. Let's see if he dumps it down, gets up on the grass, and there it goes every single time. I don't, Tyler, you know more about this track than I do. Is there seats right there? I mean, is there seats in that area? Because I'm telling you right now, that would be the best. I mean, granted, you got the seats right on the front stretch. They can see the start-finish line. But there has been so many people that have just straight up spotted out and lost it right there off that turn 7. Whoever owns it, you talked about it, the state of Oregon owns this. They have got to put some grandstands right there because, at least for this matter, because that is the hot seat right now, just watching guys over in turn 7 just straight up lose it every damn time. They've got to put some seats right there.
Yeah, there is actually a grandstand for a lot of the bigger races there, but additionally, that is where Scott Dixon in 2024 had a big crash, was coming out of turn 7 and knocked himself out of the race. You can see in a wide view shot, there is a grandstand over there to see, but there's actually an additional grandstand they put up temporarily for that corner because it's a high interest corner. That and turn number 1 are big deal corners because that's where you can get a lot of calamity, a lot of drivers making mistakes. We see it a lot of the time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, drivers missing turn 1 and having to deal with the chaos there. I mean, AJ Allmendinger won the race in the rain, I think, for the inaugural Xfinity Series race there. Absolute masterclass of racing in the rain. But another lap, Matthew David Wood does not pit. And another lap where no one from 2nd through 4th decides to follow him down. If you're Ryan Johnson, you just spun out. Come down pit road. Get 4 fresh tires. But nope, he stays out. I just don't understand the strategy call from these guys.
I mean, hell, think about it. Nobody in the top 11 is coming down pit road. None of them is coming down pit road. None of them. I mean, nobody. I'm sitting here watching it on our interval, on our ticker, on our end. I don't see where it says pit lap in. Nobody has got a red box that says in. Nobody has went in. Well, I was going to take a commercial break right here at lap 20, but sure as hell I do. We'll have people jumping down pit road and they'll throw the whole thing out for a whirl. But I tell you what, screw it. 20 to go. Premier Racing said it was 20 to go. Let's take a quick commercial break. Thanks some of our sponsors, and then we'll take you all the way to the checkered flag, folks. Don't go anywhere. You're watching it live here at Portland on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Yes, sir. That's how you make them go down pit road. Go ahead and go to a commercial break. Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog, James Beard, Josh Rodriguez. All three drivers up inside of the top 10 have elected to jump it on down pit road. MDW working his way down the backstretch. When will he pit? When will Tristan Bruce? When will Adam Newton? When will Johnson pit? All these guys, Freeman, Sacco, Pater, all these guys jump down pit road. Luke Smith, he's already made his pit stop. We'll see what Wood decides to do. Will Wood go down pit road? No, he will not. What will Tristan Bruce and others do? And, I mentioned it real quick. I'll think about this for a second. You would think maybe since Adam Newton, let's bring Adam Newton into the fray right here. He has not led a lap yet.
Yeah.
Would it be possible for Newton to just say, okay, you know what, screw it. Bruce already led a lap, Wood led a lap. I think Johnson, he already led a lap as well. If you haven't led a lap, would you just say, screw it, stay out, and wait for the other three to go in? That way you can at least lead a lap and get some points out of it.
100%, that's definitely a strategy. But if you're like Ryan Johnson, who spun out, hasn't led a lap yet tonight, come down pit road. Get the 4 fresh tires. See, John Freeman, very loose there. He's on old tires. These drivers are starting to struggle. I mean, last time by, no one inside the top 5 except for Matthew David Wood ran under a 118. And Matthew David Wood barely ran under a 118. He ran a 117.93. Like, try something. Do something. You can't just live in this state of, well, I have no chance of leading a lap. Matthew David Wood, I'm just going to go pit when he pits. Like, come on. That's not the right attitude to have. I understand, like, not wanting to wreck and all that. But do something different. Like, you can't just live in this constant state of ignorance. If you're a top 5 driver. Come down pit road, get 4 fresh tires, run 116s, 117s for 5-10 laps. You see Devin Painter's finally down pit road. He was 9th when he came down. But try something new and hope that MDW makes a mistake on these old tires by staying out for as long as he has. Because when he pits, he's going to have fresh tires, probably just under 15 to go by the time he pits. He's not going to make probably another mistake, and it's going to be over by then. These other guys, try the undercut. You would have had 10 lap advantage now at this point on or call it about 8. Call it 8 for end of stage sake. But yeah, that's 16 seconds. If you are, Tristan Bruce, you'd have the lead when he finally pits. If you're Adam Newton, hell, you might even have the lead by the time he pits. Ryan Johnson's just on that fringe, but try something else. It's not working what you're doing. You got to do something else.
Oh, I was wondering who was going to be the first one to do it for 2026, but Tyler Dittmer, I'm not surprised. I think you might have just pulled it.
Yeah.
We got beef. I think we got beef. Tyler Dittmer, he's got beef here at Portland, y'all. He's got it by a mile. And I
love this track.
Him. Try something different. I mean, damn, you can't do the same thing he's doing. I would not be surprised at this point, Tyler, just to really piss you off if Wood goes down pit road and then Bruce, Newton, and Johnson, all 4 of them, or all 3 of them went down pit road at the same time that Wood went down. I would not be surprised.
And I wouldn't either. And it makes no sense. It's like when you're running. Newton finally, thank God, Newton did something different. Pitted before Matthew David Wood. Thank you, Adam Newton. You're about 6 laps too late for me to care, but when you think about mile and a half track racing, especially at a track like Kentucky where it kind of gets spread out, if you're running 6th and you're about 4 seconds back, and Kentucky, the tires wear, especially in 3 and 4 because it's super flat down there, you don't have a ton of baking, you're not going to gain any ground. If you don't pit before the leader, you're not going to make an advantage. Because if the leader pits before you, guess what? He's going to have fresh tires. He's going to lap about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds lap faster than you because especially at Kentucky where 3 and 4 is so flat, you're off the gas a lot, especially with old tires. You got to do something. You're not going to win from where you're at. And yes, I think everyone's probably in their mind well, MDW's got us covered. If you want to have that mentality, that's on you. That's not a winning mentality. That's not a racer's mentality. You shouldn't have that mindset going into a race. I would not be surprised to see Matthew David Wood come down pit road here. Oh, look at that. He absolutely does. He saw Adam Newton pit. Wow. So smart for the leader to do that.
Yeah. Just tell us how you really feel. And Bruce goes down right behind him. Bruce went down right behind him. Will Johnson go down? Is Johnson going to do it? No, he decided he's going to pull the strategy I was thinking about that Adam Newton would do. He is going to lead a lap, or will he? Will he be able to get to the light? Yes, he will. So perfect timing for Johnson to pull that. He will lead that lap. He will get the bonus points for leading the lap, and then I would think Johnson will come down pit road this next time by. But I agree with you 100%, Tyler. I mean, you got to do something different than these, than Wood if you want to have any shot to try to win it. I mean, I understand. He's the fastest guy that's out there on the track. And look, I said this back in 2025, and I'll say this to everybody out there live here on the Dash 360 Race Network. Everybody else got mad at me, and everybody's been sitting there saying, "Oh, well, you talk too much about MDW. You talk too much about him. You're putting him up on this pedestal."
What are you going to do?
Look. I don't know who your driver is, but if you want us to talk about him, get him to finish up there at the front. Well, what is it? We'll talk about him. I mean, hell, you know what? Screw it. Second time right here. Second time right here.
Well, right by Adam Newton. Ooh, Ed Osborne went off.
Ed Osborne. I was fixing to play that we got beef on that, but, I mean, we're going to talk about the guys that's up here at the front, and they're up here lighting it up like MDW has been doing. Don't get mad at us if we're sitting there talking about them, as now Ryan Johnson took that strategy. He's going down pit road. Tyler, you got me look, you already got fired up. You got me fired up at this point. I think we're all getting fired up.
Yeah, it's just like Newton waited too long. He would have had a good chance. We'll see what his first lap is on not an out lap here this time by. But if his lap is anywhere in the 116s, like, it's just the wrong strategy. I mean, we'll see it here when he comes across the line. Tristan Bruce here still on his out lap, not a good timing metric. Adam Newton made a big mistake there off the corner trying to get by Cody Knott, so it's probably not going to be a good lap time. But, like, he waited too long, got himself in more traffic, and, like, even with traffic, ran a 121, avoiding, a wrecking driver and another huge mistake. But Matthew David Wood already back up to second, really. John Freeman's your race leader at this time. But he's only, 50 car lengths up the road? Yeah, Bruce came down pit road about 8 seconds or 6 seconds back, and he came off pit road 6 seconds back. Why? Because he came down pit road on the same lap as Matthew David Wood. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Oh, baby, it's good to have you up here in the booth, Tyler. I'm telling you, because I got a feeling we're going to have a hell of a time all the way to May 1st to get all the way to Auto Club. Obviously, Redneck
we got another road course. I'm going to have a lot
right
to
here.
say.
Oh, really? I'm scared to even look at this point. I don't even know which one it is, to be honest with you, but anyway, well, I'll tell you what, screw it. Let's pull the schedule up. We're going to hear about it. Let's see what we got right here. Well, Portland, we went all the way down to Bristol. I'll tell you what, I'll look at it on my end and kind of see what that road course is, because I got a feeling I cannot wait to see how this one works.
There's got to be one more.
Damn, you wasn't kidding. Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Thank God you're around on that one.
Oh, baby. Oh, I'm going to have so much to say about a street circuit.
I don't know. I don't know if that one. Here we go, Tiny Horse.
Oh, no. Not again. Oh, way loose.
Oh, wow.
I told you, that was the other big action zone outside of that front stretch chicane. Like, I'm telling you, that is a tough corner because you're going so fast. There's not a lot of grip. And you're coming down to that part of the track where you got to figure it out. If you don't figure it out, it's very easy to get the truck around. Xfinity car, you saw a lot of mistakes there in the real world. You saw a lot of mistakes there in IndyCar in the real world. Not surprised in the slightest. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson falling through the field after a really promising start to his race. He's down in the 7th position after running top 4 most of the day, but he's made 3 big mistakes, twice in turn 7 and another down there in 10, 11, 12. As you see Nick Sacco finally coming down pit road. Matthew David Wood's going to take the lead here with about 12 to go. Or Freeman, correction.
And MTW, the lap before this, ran the fastest lap of the race, a 1:15.187.
Fresh tires, who would guess?
Damn, I mean, he is rolling, MDW is. And look how this all worked out. Tristan Bruce, with that strategy, when he pitted, now he is 9 seconds behind MDW. So, I mean, Tyler's still not out of the woods, but that is pretty much done with. I mean, at this point, unless one screws up, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, you follow the leader and nothing's good going to go down. And Adam Newton, who pitted 1 lap earlier than the leader, he's down 20 seconds to the race leader, Matthew David Wood. And, we'll see how this all plays out here in the long term. But at this point, Matthew David Wood, unless he makes a mistake off turn 7, which we've seen ton tonight. Like, the drivers have been outclassed, not just in talent on the track, but also in strategy. And a strategy where Matthew David Wood didn't have to do anything. He was waiting for the first guy in the top 4 to pit and was just going to pit. And he just kind of let everyone see where Raul Meza goes for an off-track excursion right behind the leader. It was just an absolute masterclass for Matthew David Wood so far in this race. And that included 2 off-track excursions for MDW.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing about that. Let's see what happened with Luke Smith right there getting through the first part, kicking around here. Damn, I mean, just full sending it. Lost it, might have spilled his beer going into that corner, and that might have been what caused him to slide right through there and get through there a little bit too hot. Ended up losing a spot right there as well, but I'm telling you, our great producer Jim Cunningham said he's trying to charge the city of Portland for landscaping, obviously, and I'm telling you, that right there, I mean, the track temp is not really rose. It's kind of stabled out at 117 degrees, so it's kind of stuck right there where it was, not too long ago. So, but I'm telling you, this place right here, is this one of the more difficult road courses, Tyler, or what do you think?
Yes and no. I think there's a unique challenge to how flat it is. It is narrow at some portions compared to some of these other road courses. At Watkins Glen, you have the banking of the carousel on the exit of the bus stop. You have some little bit of banking there in the S-curve going up the hill. See John Freeman giving the bumper there to the 83 of Luke Smith. Almost got him around there. That was these 2 drivers are racing hard there for the 6th position, I believe. But I do think this track is challenging in its own right. That being said, it's not on the level of like a COTA or a street circuit. It's not extremely difficult, but if you make a big mistake, you can find yourself in a world of hurt. You see John Freeman trying to make the pass there on Luke Smith down the front straightaway. Has a great run there. It'll be side by side going into 1.
Trying to make it work. Will Freeman be able to make it work right there with Kermit the Frog? Luke Smith, he slid up. And think about it. He put the bumper to him right here. Will there be payback coming into the corner right here? Not able to get close enough. Freeman might have gave him that love tap and told him, said, hey, get the hell out of the way. I'm a little bit faster. And Smith might have obliged to that whole deal and just slid right out of the way. Flip-flop back into the 7th spot. And John Freeman, we haven't talked a whole lot about him. He stayed out. He kind of let everybody else make that pit stop and kind of got up there, lead a lap. He's up 10 spots from where he started in the race all the way up here in the 6th spot. About 4 seconds back from Tiny Horse. If Ryan Johnson screws up one more time, Freeman could find himself into a top 5. Just like I was talking about earlier, Tyler. We haven't talked a whole lot about him. We haven't talked a whole lot about Nick Sacco neither. Just drivers just surviving. And that's what Sacco's doing. That's what Freeman's doing. Luke Smith, we talked a little bit about him. That's what these drivers are doing, just surviving. And it's paying off for them to just come out here, run consistently, don't get themselves in a bad situation. And Nick Sacco could quite possibly come out of this thing with a podium. I would have not had Nick Sacco for my pick to finish on the podium here this evening. I wouldn't have.
And I don't disagree with you, but he's run the race he needed to run. He kind of just bid his time. He hasn't, he pitted when there wasn't going to be a lot of traffic on his pit exit, unlike Adam Newton, who just waited probably too long. Newton had a lot of traffic on his pit exit. His first full flying lap off of his pit stop was a 121. Sacco ran in the 119. So these things, even though Newton definitely faster than Sacco got the track position by playing it smart. Freeman, same deal as him compared to Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson. Just kind of ran a smart deal. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson's only up the road by a few seconds, but Ryan has made a lot of mistakes here tonight. Freeman has not made those same mistakes. He got by Luke Smith. He's closing on Johnson. Faster last time by about, call it 2/10. And you see Newton out here closing on Sacco. Much quicker driver out of Newton. You see Sacco kind of just moves over, realizes Newton's the quicker driver. But still a great run for Nick Sacco here tonight here in that 87 machine. Adam Newton moves up into that podium spot.
Yeah, I might have talked a little bit too good about Sacco, but still good drive right there by the 67. Good drive by Adam Newton trying to slide up here, try to make it happen. Sacco up 11 spots from where he started. Freeman up. James Beard up there. He's still in front of Devin Pater. He's got a pretty good shot to be able to hold him off. Pretty good gap, honestly, by over Pater. But everybody's kind of spread out now. I mean, you ain't got a whole lot of craziness going on with too much closeness. I mean, you had Freeman and Smith, but everything is kind of spread out. Woods over 14 seconds over Tristan Bruce. 8 laps to go here in the race. This, it's what it is, baby. I mean, this is what it is right here. This is how road course racing is. And it's like you said, Tyler, this might be the part where fans may sit there and go, well, it's road course racing. Well, we're going to go ahead and tune out on it. But there's still storylines that develop throughout this race. You see Sacco up here. That's just one thing that, everybody's got to think about, because even still, with everything spread out, one little episode, one little incident, like we're seeing right here, we're going through some of these spots, one little incident can mean the difference between a guy winning the race and a guy finishing third or whatever. I mean, there's no telling what can happen here in these last 7 laps.
Yeah, and we're looking right now at the battle for 13th. We're looking at Osborne, but right up the road is Cody Knott makes a big slide. Osborne's collision there, and that was a battle for position. Both drivers a lap down, but Cody Knott makes the mistake in turn 10. Ed Osborne hits him, but continues down the road. We'll see what the damage is like for those 2 drivers, but that was a battle for position as James Beer was kind of just watching along here. We see Cody Knott just gets very, very loose here into that left-hander, gets the back end around, and Ed Osborne, unfortunately, he was the right place on track, but nowhere to go when Cody Knott came back across the track.
Wow, big slide right there. Cody Knott not able to hold on to it. And Cody Knott now going to slide down to the 14th spot. Ed Osborne's going to slide by him, obviously up into the 13th spot. Ed Osborne's still down from where he started. He started 6th, but certainly not the night that he was wanting down to the 13th spot. There's Tristan Bruce still. He's pretty much in no man's land. He's got nobody around him. Wood up the road, and then you got Newton way back from him and not really gaining on him. He's not gaining on Wood. That's one of those points right there where you really start to see mistakes happen, Tyler. When you ain't got nobody around you, got nobody around you, that you're trying to race anyway, and you just kind of just in la-la land. You kind of like an old woman out there on a. I'm trying to. Well, hang on a minute now, Jim. I'm trying to pull up like an old woman driving out there on the highway, and just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden she comes up on a construction crew with stop sign. And they got an operation going on. You're basically like an old woman, and you just run right up on them and damn near run them all over. That's the kind of mindset that some of these drivers may have when they ain't got nobody around them, and they're just out there in la-la land just racing around out here on these road courses. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, and right now we got a battle building up for the 4th position between Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson and Nick Sacco as they get around the lap truck of Raul Meza. This is a big deal. Another position, another point. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson's made a lot of mistakes tonight. He spun out twice there in this exact corner. He just made it through, barely. And then he's made another mistake. I believe it was turns 10, 11, 12. But he gets by Nick Sacco there, takes the 4th position. Not really much of a fight from Sacco. Kind of just let him have it. Meanwhile, John Freeman down the road has been lapping faster than Nick Sacco by about a second a lap. That could be another battle for the 5th position. Sacco could lose out to Freeman, depending on how these last 5 laps goes. Matthew David Wood has kind of run away with this race, and a lot of it can be attributed to speed, but a lot of it can also be attributed to strategy, how big of his margin is. Some of these drivers, I think, could have made it somewhat interesting if they had just gone and pitted as soon as the stage was over. Force MDW to make a move. And if he decides not to, you have a significant tire advantage for the next 8 or so laps that he decided to stay out, but no one wanted to go for it.
Yeah, very good possibility. And speaking of which, real quick, anybody out there in the live chat, if you are an old lady, no offense. I'm not trying to put any offense to any of you out there in the live chat. There is Wood working his way around, coming around with 4 laps to go. And really, we talked about this as well. Something else. He's fixing a lap Devin Painter. That's all the way up to the 9th spot. And remember, folks, MDW shows that he started 13th. He didn't. He had to start at the back of the pack. He got an EOL to start, had to go all the way from the back and drive all the way through the field to get here just because he won the last 2 races. Here were the concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series for Season 11. Tyler, I know this is going to sound really stupid. I know we haven't even got to the playoffs yet, but MDW has never won the championship on the Friday Night Series. Mm-hmm. Is he the guy that everybody's got to be watching out for now this year? Certainly with the performance that he's had tonight, and obviously trying to go for 3 in a row here.
100%. But, when you think about how difficult it is to win a championship in Nazareth, very few drivers have won it multiple times across different series. I've never won a championship in Nazareth, and I'm pretty sure I'm top 15 all times on the Nazareth wins list. I've only ever won a regular season title. It's so difficult, and all it takes is a small mistake, and you are out of it, right? It takes one really, really bad finish in a playoff round, and you have no chance at overcoming that deficit. So I think MDW has to be a new favorite. If you were making betting odds, he's not in the minus money. He's not got a greater than 50% push just because of the playoff format that we use. But that all being said, I'm definitely putting him in the low plus couple hundreds. He's extremely talented driver. He has a lot of what it takes to be a champion. He's good at all different types of racing, road courses, short tracks, super speedways, intermediates. But it is so challenging to win a championship in this format.
We need to get a new segment going on with Tyler Betts. Seriously, we need to get one going on with Tyler Betts. Get the money going, flying around one way or another. I mean, they raced for. Well, I mean, hell, they raced. They raced for the the entry fees and all of that stuff. So I mean, hell, why not? MDW 3 to go, coming around. We'll make it 2 to go. Watch this corner right here. That's turn 7. We've seen so many of them lose it. Painter about lost it right there as well, but certainly has really put the whooping on him and could make it a whole 20 seconds over Bruce if he puts the hammer down. He's about a second faster every single lap than Tristan Bruce is, so certainly would be able to make it that. There's Tristan Bruce. He started on the pole, and back here sitting in second. Damn, one driver right there off the pace. Who was that? Not sure who it was, but one driver was off the pace right there, had to lift out of the gas and let everybody go by him. So I'm telling you, it's landmines, baby. These guys having to dodge all of them as they're coming around this time with 2 to go.
Yeah, if Brady would give me a time to do the hot lap, get it back going, you'd hear all of my aggressive opinions and thoughts and takes, Jacob. But he's being a little salty, so we'll have to see if I end up going off on my own, or maybe pop back over on the door bang and download if it ever comes back. Get me on there. You can pick the brain for what I think about everything, because there's definitely a lot of takes there. A lot of people aren't going to like, and I know the Chris Blanchards and the Larson Cole and whatever the hell his dad's name is, JD or some shit like that. They don't really like me, but I don't really care.
I think we're going to get an episode. We may have to get it fired back up to 2026. I mean, we haven't had one in 2025, so yeah, it's a good possibility. I mean, Tyler may be around for a little bit. He might be around. I don't know if he'll be back around for Bristol. Hopefully he will. But there's Johnson right there, 4th, 5 seconds back from Adam Newton. Pretty good up the road for Sacco. Pretty much everybody's kind of, I'd say, set in stone where they're running right there. There's Sacco right there running for top 5. Everything's pretty much set in stone right now, Tyler, as Wood trying to work his way around, try to come around. Take that white flag, obviously. There it is right there. I mean, he just took the white flag as he works his way into turn 1. You see MDW Matthew David Wood. I mean, certainly, you mentioned it a while ago, a masterclass performance for MDW here this evening.
Yeah, an absolute masterclass, both on the track and also in the strategy. MDW's done everything right. He's run the race clean. Only, those 2 small mistakes, but nothing to the extent of getting the truck turned around. Was able to catch himself and fix it. He's doing everything he needs to do to keep this truck clean. Just got to deal with one more lap trap, but you see he's taking a lot of time to deal with Cody Knott here. He is not in the mood to push it as he's trying to come around and win this race, and he's done everything right. You can't fault the guy in any way, shape, or form. He has done everything he's needed to win this race. He is taking care of business, and some of the guys also kind of helped hand it to him, but he has done everything he needed to.
Yeah, I mean, MDW doing a fantastic job. Hell, he's actually letting drivers slide right by and let Devin Painter get back on the lead lap. I don't know if I would have took that. I'd have fell right back in line with him, because then you got to go another whole lap to go back around this place. Even Devin Painter kind of gets off the track right there in front of Wood. Wood going to dirt track it off the last turn and going to drift for us a little bit. Hell, why not? 50 seconds up the road. MDW Matthew David Wood going to drift across the line. He will win at Portland. Knocked the whole front end off of it. May not pass Tech. Happy birthday to the weatherman. MDW Matthew David Wood gets the win. 3rd win in a row here tonight at Portland. Tristan Bruce coming home with a second place finish. Adam Newton, hopefully, if everything comes around good, yes, he will come home with third. And then Johnson and Sacco coming home with the top fives here this evening. Tonight belongs to the weatherman, the birthday boy, MDW. He got her done here tonight.
Yeah, Freeman will cross the line in 6th. Just gets across. Oh, wait. That seemed weird. Nick Sacco ran out of gas. Freeman takes away 5th at the line.
Sacco never pitted.
No, he didn't. He ran out of gas on the front straightaway. John Freeman steals a top 5 by, call it 0.6 of a second. And then Luke Smith will come home in 7th. Yeah. Luke Smith comes home 7th. James Beer will come home in 8th. Devin Painter in 9th. And the rest of the field, 1 lap down. Josh Rodriguez, Matt Montgomery, Raul Meza, Ed Osborne, Cody Knott. And then 2 laps down, you got Trevor Aswarnoff, Dana Shepard, Curtis Banks. The remainder of the trucks running at the end of this race. But wow, what a steal there for John Freeman, getting a top 5 there at the end, because Nick Sacco ran out of gas, never pit. And wow, I mean, a great deal for Freeman getting a top 5 here.
Yeah, big deal right there for Freeman and Sacco. Obviously, Adam Lichty and Jeff Merck, they had their issues. Obviously, Merck spun around back there on the back stretch, head on into the outside, inside wall, whichever way you want to look at it. Schumann, Cummins, they called it quits earlier on, as well as Eric Zimmerman. Keith Haney just stuck around just to see what was going to happen here tonight. And TJ Moore was the race director. The night belongs to MDW. Him, Tristan Bruce, Adam Newton. We'll talk to those drivers here right after this commercial break. Portland, National 360 Racing Network. We're back right after this.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Oh, we're back here at Portland, National 360 Racing Network, Redneck Announcer Jake Reeves, with good buddy Tyler Dittmer, Jim Cunningham, alongside all of us. Took you through it here tonight at Portland with MDW getting the win. Usually we bring every damn body up here on the booth. I have no idea why. Oh, yeah, probably because we've been sitting here BSing the whole time. We'll go ahead and bring every damn one of them on up to the broadcast booth. We meant to do this before we went live on there. But MDW won. First off, once again, happy birthday, young man. Congratulations. You basically swept it here tonight at Portland. That's one of the hardest races I think you ever had to work for right there to get a win. I'm just joking. What was the hardest part on the racetrack, period? What was the hardest part of the race, period?
For me, getting down into turn 1, I could not stop locking the right front down into turn 1, and then I blew the corner once, almost. I think it was like a 6-second slowdown or something like that, because Montgomery came out of the pits. I was like, oh, hey, there's Montgomery. Oh, wait, there's a corner there. Hi. And then I went straight through the corner and absolutely blew it. But other than that, It was definitely a fun one for sure. But had a lot of incredible showings out tonight. I was with Merc and Bruce in the chat because none of my people were here, so I just decided to go and talk to them for a little bit. But like I said, I like making my way through the field, and gives me good practice for racecraft for when I have to run a Ferrari GTP in the Daytona 24.
Sounded to me like you joined the dark side a little bit when you slid over there with Bruce and Merc. I'm just kidding around. Anyway, Tyler, you got anything for Wood?
First, do you need another driver for the Daytona 24? Because if so, I'm willing and able.
I'll definitely look. I would love to.
Second, I expect to see you in the Tuesday night Prosper Engineering GT3 series starting up here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network in 18 days. Quick shout out to that series coming up soon. But we talked about the track, how difficult it is, right? Turn one, we saw the mistakes. We saw you have a little off-track excursion there, turn 3, that right-hander, the double right, and the other off-track excursion in 11 and 12. What do you think was the driving factor behind strategy, though, in stage 3 when coming down pit road? When did you decide, hey, now is the time for me to pit?
Well, me and Bruce were quite far ahead. We were just probably going to pit together. We were quite far ahead at that point. So I think for me, I saw other people pitting, but I knew around 15 to go, we'd be a little over halfway into the run, so we wouldn't get too much tire fall off. So I decided to pit with around 15 to go. That way I could have at least somewhat fresh tires all the way to the end of the race, just in case anything would happen. But again, I got to thank Outlier. Outlier is just an incredible source for me. They have the most incredible setups. Got to thank everybody on the racetrack for the incredible amount of support. You guys for doing an incredible job. Finally got to do my drift celebration that I always do. Tried to do a 360 across the line. It didn't work very well, but I did drift pretty well. But I thank everybody for their support. Thank Anna. I've known her for a long time. She's like a grandma to me, I guess. But I love her and I love all the support. Thank the Lord for giving me another year, another opportunity to be here, and try to make the most out of it. Try to go into this year with a lot of hope and leadership, and hopefully I can help some more people with weather stuff and put some smiles on people's faces. That's my goal.
I'll tell you what, folks, this kid right here, he is a jack of all trades. MDW, Matthew David Wood, coming home with a win over 14 seconds over Tristan Bruce. MDW, buddy, congratulations on the win. Appreciate your time. Are you signed up? Are you going to run the King of Daytona next week? Or are you taking a week off? What are you doing?
I'm running it. I'm going to run it.
Oh, hell, watch out. Youngsters going for it. Wood's going to try to go for Daytona, buddy. Congratulations on the win tonight. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
That was MDW Matthew David Wood comes home with a win. We'll go to second place finisher on TV, Tristan Bruce. Tristan, buddy, congratulations on P2. I got to ask you just the obvious question, which Tyler's got another obvious question. I'll let Tyler ask you that one. But other than just straight up driving in there and just wrecking MDW, what else did you need to do to be able to get the win here tonight?
Hell, I don't even know, to be honest. I don't think anybody knows Jacob. He's an animal. We've always said it. We've seen it for a long time. He's just got it in him. So it's super cool to see. But yeah, it's I don't know what I can do different. I don't think any of us do. But I certainly tried my best tonight, and it was fun. I'm very thankful that I think he's won the past 2 races before this, so he wasn't able to qualify. So that gave me a bunch of laps led in the first stage, so I really do appreciate that. I got my first pole because of that as well. So just know it feels good to finish on the podium finally. I've had super good stage points all season, just haven't had the finish in the 3rd stage. So feels good to finally be interviewed after one of these Friday nights. But yeah, I just bought the track last night, just ran it for the first time in the practice session here today. So it was a lot to learn. Picked up a lot of time from the first few laps when I sat down on here earlier, but yeah, it was fun all in all.
All right, Tyler, have at it. I know what you want to ask him. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know exactly where I'm going with this. Tristan, I understand MGW is a good buddy. You qualified on pole. You were running well. Why in God's green earth did you not just pit immediately and force his hand? You were running, you would have run about a second and a half a lap faster if you would have just pitted sooner. If you, depending on how long he would have run, you could have gotten at least ahead of him, made him work for the win. Why did you wait to follow him down pit road?
Oh, dude, I don't think I had a chance, no matter what I did. So we were,
If he waits 8 laps, you would have had the lead.
well. See, the thing is, though, we were in the chat together all race, so we were, we're talking about pitting together because I was totally fine with second. I don't think I could have undercutted him.
As Larry McReynolds say, if you're going to follow the leader, all you're going to do is follow the leader. That guy won the Daytona 500, so as crazy as he might have a point. I digress.
Well, I'll tell you in the Nazareth 500, I'm gonna try to get around him for sure because I'm running that too, and I want the big bucks.
I hope so.
I hope you try to pass him one way or another. I mean, hell,
I think
trying to
Merck's
figure
in it,
something
so I
out.
might just wreck Merck too. I don't know. Oh no, he's going on a cruise, I think, so he won't make it. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, that's unfortunate, I guess. Well, Tristan, buddy, congratulations on the P2 here tonight. As always, thank your sponsors. Need shout outs.
Yeah, just thank you so much to Charlotte Fence Builders and Miss Jennifer there with everything she does to contribute with what I do in iRacing as well as real life. So thank you, Miss Jennifer. Thank you to all my family, my dad, mom, sister, stepmom. I about said brothers. I don't have any brothers. Nieces, nephews, friends, everyone that watches for me. Thank you, guys in the booth. Do a great job. Producer, thank you as well. Yeah, just it was fun. I had a good night.
Tristan Bruce, he played follow the leader, and that's exactly what happened. He followed the leader here tonight at Portland, but he comes home with second, which is a hell of a lot better than what some of the other drivers pulled out tonight. Tristan, buddy, congratulations on the finish. Appreciate your time. We'll see you next week for the Kick of Daytona.
Thanks, man.
That was Tristan Bruce comes home with P2. We'll go to third place finisher Adam Newton. He did not follow the leader. He tried something different, but ultimately still comes home with a podium here tonight. Adam, buddy, congratulations on the finish. Tell us about your race because it's pretty interesting right there from the seat of the number 19 Toyota.
Yeah, I got a little bit of luck on my side. I had my favorite Campbell beside me. Did everything I could. I looked at Tristan and Tiny Horse's bumper for a long time, but me and Tiny both had our misfortunes, so lucky to come home in third place.
Tyler?
Well, Adam, I'm going to ask you the same question. Why didn't you just pit as soon as stage 2 was over? Just try something. Force the hand. Like, come on, man. I know you're good at this road course thing. I've seen you do it. Why not try something different? Why wait?
Well, I was the first out of the top 3 to pit.
Yeah, but 7 laps after the stage.
Yeah, for tire wear and my comfortable driving style, it just wasn't flying. I was way too loose. I needed the best tires toward the end of the race. Kermit the Frog, he pitted and he just we were listening to him and I was looking at the lap times and it wasn't working and I just couldn't get comfortable with the truck.
I do got to ask, we saw a lot of incidents coming off of turn 7, that tight right hand, like hairpin almost. It looked like a lot of the guys would just dip the left sides into the grass a little bit, put them around. What was so unique and challenging about this track tonight compared to what we've seen in the past from road courses on Nazareth?
Well, this track in particular, you had to use some of that rumble strip to help the truck turn. Otherwise, it just pushed out and you couldn't recover. And you saw Tiny Horse, he spun out twice. I went off the track down there in that hairpin once. I mean, it was just really hard to get grip, and if you didn't do it just right, the truck would just fly off.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Make it work. Got to do what you got to do. Got to use what you got one way or another. It'll work out for you. Adam Newton coming home with a P3 here tonight. Matter of fact, exactly where he started. He didn't gain nor lose. Take that all day long. Stalemate with it on the road course. Adam, buddy, congratulations on P3. Appreciate your time as always. Thanking sponsors and any shout outs.
Yeah, I would like to thank somebody for finding my camel. Going to try to go look at this real camel we found on Facebook here in North Carolina. So thanks to them and Keith Bradley and Florida Cabinet
One or
Distributors.
two humps?
Two humps. It's actually it's bad to the bone, man. I had to send y'all some pictures of this thing. You had to bring little announcer up there to ride it too.
Yeah.
But
God.
Blue Lights and Luke and Tiny Horse and we're missing Chew tonight and y'all and Brady and Jim, and thanks for all you do. And to the alien, happy birthday, good win, and the second alien, good job finishing second.
Oh,
real quick, Adam, before you
Go ahead.
do you want to do the Daytona 24 with me?
I'm on the fence about that. I'm supposed to have a procedure, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to swing it.
He's up there recruiting people in the damn post race. Y'all believe this?
I have been practicing though for the roar, so
I'm looking for teammates. Oh, you're on the roar? I'll be in the GR86 because I hate GT4s.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with the Mustang and the GT4. It's something else.
All right.
I ain't got a damn clue. Anyway, Adam Newton, buddy, congratulations on the P3, buddy. Appreciate your time. And are you running next week, right? You signed up for the King of Daytona?
No, sir.
You ain't running the King of Daytona one, unfortunately, on that one. But we will see you the week after that, obviously DSR, and then obviously with C.O.P.S, going to be at Bristol in 2 weeks, buddy. We'll see you then.
Yeah, I'm a cheerleader for those guys next week.
Gonna be the eyes in the sky. Pretty sure he'll be a spotter getting ready for the King of Daytona. We'll get you the graphic lined up on the board, possibly if anybody hasn't already yet seen it. Showed up a little bit late to the conversation here tonight. Remember, next week, January 4th through January the 10th, the King of Daytona, NASRA 500. Get yourself signed up. Get your entry fee in. Obviously, will be rebuys, which is something real big that happened last year with the NASRA 500 King of Daytona, and then obviously with the King of Talladega that happened a while back. Obviously, all of it sponsored and presented by Blanchard's Towing, so thank you very much to Blanchard's as well. Tyler, buddy, good to have you up here in the booth. So happy that you're going to be with us for the rest of the season here on the Friday nights. Buddy, your final take on Portland. I mean, hell, honestly, I'm tickled death that you actually knew about this track because, like I said, this is the first time I've actually watched the race here, but NASRA damn sure didn't disappoint.
Yeah, a very good race, a lot of action throughout the midfield, and honestly, watching MDW work through the field was extremely impressive, and congrats to him on the win. I'll be on the call Sunday night with Wesley Outland for the King of Daytona first round of races, so if you liked me or if you hated me, you want to make fun of me more on Sunday night, you have your opportunity. But great being back in the booth. It's been a while. Glad to be working with you again, Jacob. Appreciate working with you here, Jim. And I got to say, this season, now being on the call for the rest of the season, it's going to come down to consistency. And Matthew David Wood has shown the consistency at all types of tracks. Bristol next week, though, all it takes is one little mistake, and you can go from running top 5 to finishing 35th. So we'll see how the guys do next week when we go to Bristol, or 2 weeks' time, correction, because we have a week off for the King of Daytona event. But one last shout-out to the NASRA Prosper Engineering GT3 Endurance Series starting up here in 18 days on Tuesday nights on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. You'll catch a bunch of your favorite drivers, including Matthew David Wood, Otavio Rodrigo. If you hate me or like me, you can root for me or against me. I'll be running in that series as well every other week on the S360 Racing Network on Tuesday nights. But Jacob, blast calling a race with you. I cannot wait for the remainder of this season.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute blast. Real quick, we got to bring our great producer in, Jim Cunningham. Always a pleasure working with you, Jim. Jim, buddy, your final take on Portland, baby. I know you know about this place as well. Your final take on the race here this evening, sir.
I thought it was great. I mean, it was fantastic racing, like we see here all the time. I think that that y'all hit it right on the head with somebody needed to vary the pit strategy a little bit, and we might have seen a little bit closer of a race. I mean, I think MDW had them covered, but somebody could have made a little bit better of a race out of it anyway, especially Tristan Bruce. But I think some of those guys were probably just happy to come away with where they finished.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if it was me, I'd have just been tickled death just to survive and finish on the damn lead lap. If I could have pulled that off, I'd have been tickled. But a lot of them was able to pull it off, and Wood got 3 in a row. Will he make it 4 in a row when we go to Bristol in 2 weeks? We'll have to find out in due time. But, folks, that's going to do it for this broadcast here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. All our great sponsors, obviously ButtKicker for the title sponsorship of the race. You got DSR Electric, Darren's Detail and Shine for the White Flag Lap, Florida Cabinet Distributors for the Victory Lane. I mean, hell, the list just goes on and on. So many of them, Merv's, Premier, just so many of them. But the big one is C.O.P.S, the Concerns of Police Survivors, stuck around here on the Friday night series. Title sponsorship. Thank you very much to them, and I'm always behind them, supporting everything that they stand for. Shout out to the drivers, putting on a hell of a show as always. Fans, y'all come out in big numbers supporting this great league, and obviously with these drivers, Bray the Buff, Cody Knott, for allowing us to come on here, broadcast, be ourselves, entertain you, the fans, run one of the best, not one of the best, the best leagues in iRacing, which is the North American Sim Racing Association. For my good buddy, producing, Jim Cunningham, and also co-commentating with me here tonight and the rest of the season, Tyler Dittmer. I'm the Redneck Announcer, Jake Reeves. Said as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast. King of Daytona's next week. Happy New Year. 2026 rolls on with C.O.P.S in 2 weeks. Last great Coliseum, be at Bristol. King of Daytona next week. We'll see you in Bristol in 2 weeks, folks. Take care.